Mike Murdock, Happy New Year's here. This happened in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And I finished preaching, and a 12-year-old girl whose parents were dentists in Shreveport, Louisiana, rushed out the door. She ran across the street to go to a fast food place, and one of the young men attending the youth conference there drove into her little body and killed her. I held her in my arms, and I was kind of crazy. I couldn't believe she had been killed within seconds after I quit preaching. I fasted for 5 days to know what to do with my ministry. Everybody told me later, said, Brother Mike, you did give an altar call, because I couldn't remember if I'd ever given her an opportunity to receive Christ. It launched a change in my ministry, and I decided that I would open up every service with an altar call for the unbeliever. The Lord really led me in it. It's very powerful. I wouldn't wait an hour later in case they'd left the service. I decided I would open up every time I preached publicly. Results were profound. Over 200 came to Christ on a Sunday morning while I was preaching for Dr. Marilyn Hickey in Denver, Colorado. 35 days later or so, and she had told me that she had seen more salvations that morning in their church than any time in the history of their ministry. Over 200 stood to accept Christ. I got a letter, and a young couple said their mother had stayed in their home, had never gone to church with them, but that morning they said, Mike Murdock is coming to a church. She had maybe seen me on TV, but she came. She gave her life to Christ that morning. 30 days later, they went into her bedroom every morning like they did, and she was dead. They wrote me a real strong gratitude letter and says, because of you, we know our mother's in heaven. Nobody can get into the room until the preacher opens the door. I wouldn't think you had to bring everybody to the front. It has its place. But let everybody bow their head. Let them lift their hands. And here's how I go through the Lord. There's 3. I accepted Christ because I needed a friend. I needed forgiveness, and I needed a future. Thousands have come to Christ within 10 minutes from the time I went to the pulpit. And I tell the people, I'm not going to call you to the front. You can stay where you are, but let me pray the prayer that brings peace to you, peace with God. And I say, some of you are not at peace with God. You're not an evil person, or you wouldn't love to be in his presence. You're not a rebel, or you wouldn't be here in church. Rebels don't go to church. But I want to pray a simple prayer. Lift your hand for 10 seconds after I pray. Then I'll give every one of them a gift book. And I tell them I want to see at the back of the church, I have 3 books that I want to give to you. And you'll love the books. Open the door for the unbeliever. Many people had a bad experience with Christians. And all they need is the door of kindness to open up, and they'll receive. Thousands have come to Christ. I want to come back and tell you one more thing about an altar call. They brought a lot of miracles. I'll tell you about that if you're in the ministry. There's the book, Book 109, Book 109, and it's for preachers if you'd like a copy.